Okay, hello everyone. For those of you that are existing customers, if you have a friend that is an active trader and he's trading somewhere else, we have a refer a friend program where if you refer that person to us, what we'll do is we'll aggregate the volume of you and your friend so that you both qualify for a lower commission rate based on our tiered structure. So if you and your friend, you each execute 3 million shares a month each, you're going to both qualify for the tier that puts you at 6 million. So it's a good way for you to save some money on commissions, and it's a good way for us to get new customers that are active traders at a very competitive commission rate. So if you do have a friend, let me know. My email is jely@lightspeed.com. All right. So let's see here. I'm just going to pull up my notes really quick. Do have a list of things that I want to cover so that we're all encompassing here. So order types. We're going to go right down the list. On the Lightspeed Trader platform, you have type as a choice here. You pull the drop down and you see all the different order types that are available. Everything from limit, market, stop, all the way down to dark orders, market on close, limit on open, peg orders, smart orders. All of these have a specific function. Super smart. This order route right here is probably one of the more advanced order types on the platform. What it does is will send your order to multiple different destinations at the same time and try to fill your order at, you could set it up to route to 5 different exchanges or market makers, and it sprays all of them at the same time, giving you a better chance of getting filled. I see a few questions. How long will this last? The webinar is going to be about an hour. Another question says the aggregated volume. Please clarify what you mean by that question. So limit order is very straightforward. You put in a price. You say you want to buy at 139.88. That's a limit order. You're going to get filled on the buy side at 139.88 or better or lower. Market order means that you just get filled at the best price available. A stop order. And I'm going to go through these kind of quick. I think most people probably know what they are. Stop order. So if you enter a sell stop, say you're long this stock, Apple, at 139.88, you want to set a protective stop so that if the stock goes down, it's going to get you out of your position. So you would enter a sell stop below the current market price. So we'll say maybe you want to put a stop order in at $138. So you'd enter stop, you change the price, move it down to 138, you hit sell, and what happens is that order sits out there and just waits. If the market goes against you, goes down to 138, it's going to sell your position at that price. Now a stop limit has 2 different prices. You have your stop price and then a limit price. So say we want our stop at 138, but because we know Apple moves very fast, maybe we want to set a limit of 137.75. So what that means is as soon as Apple hits 138, it's going to send an order to sell your position at a limit price of 137.75. Now the same thing on the short side. So if you are short 100 shares of Apple, you want to protect yourself on the upside. You're short at 139. You don't want to lose any more than, say, $1. So you would set your stop at a higher price of 140, and it works exactly the same way. Answer a few questions. Email address. My email address is jely@lightspeed.com. Here, I'll type it in for you really quick. There we go. Other questions for the aggregated volume shared among friends. This promotion. This is a promotion. Yes. Is there an expiration date as to when this will end? No, there's not an expiration as to when that will end. Also, the new short locate feature, if you don't see it on your platform, you can email service@lightspeed.com and have it added. That's service@lightspeed.com to have the short locate feature added to your system. I see questions about margin. We're really not going to get into margin now, but basically the account minimum is $25,000. You should, if you're going to be an active day trader, you should fund with at least that in order to qualify for margin. I suggest putting more in, and there is a greater requirement for leveraged ETFs. So if you're trading a 3 times leveraged ETF, the margin requirement is going to be different. And here's a really good question. Does Lightspeed Trading, I'm going to answer a couple questions, then get back to the material, so just bear with me. Does Lightspeed Trading internalize trades or send volumes to the exchanges, or both? We do not internalize trades. All of the orders get routed out to a third party. So if you send an order, for example, on ARCA, ARCA is the New York Stock Exchange, it goes directly to ARCA. You just use our lines to get to that exchange. We have no hand in the trade. We also have market maker routes and dark pool routes, so those go to third-party market makers or dark pools. Now they might do something as to whether they trade against your order or not, but the benefit there is that typically a market maker or a dark pool is going to have a larger volume available for you to trade against. But Lightspeed does not do that. I'm going to take 2 more questions and then move on. Can the stops be skipped over or not executed? With any trading platform, if you enter a stop limit, your limit order could get skipped over, absolutely. If the stock moves very, very quickly and you have a limit and there's not enough shares at that price point to fill your order, you could be skipped over. If you enter a market order, you're guaranteed to fill, but if it's moving quickly, it could be at a very different price. Another quick margin question, and then I'm going to move on. If you have $50,000 in an account overnight for regular marginable stock, you have 2 to 1, so you can hold $100,000 overnight. You can day trade at 4 to 1, so you can day trade with 200,000. Someone's asking super smart function. I covered that. Basically, what the super smart function does, it allows you to spray the market with your order. So you can enter a trade, for example, to buy 1,000 Microsoft and set it up so that it sprays to 4 different market centers all at the same time. And you can choose which market centers to spray your order to. So looks like there's a lot of questions here. I'm going to skip over the questions for now and try to get into the content so we can get this done within the next hour. So we do plan on ending at 5:30, and maybe at the end, if you guys have a lot of these questions, I can stick around for a little bit and answer them, but I do want to get through the material now. So we were going through order types. Does anyone have any specific questions about order types? I'm talking limit, market, stop, market on close, super smart. This order type here, dark, that sends your order to the dark pool, so to our different dark pools, so that you can possibly get filled on liquidity that you're not going to see on a level 2 screen. There's a good question. What's the difference between routable and non-routable? Let me pull our website up really quick. Let's see. So routable and non-routable, this relates directly to whether you're adding liquidity, removing liquidity, or getting routed out. So let's see. If you go to routing fees on our website, you can see add liquidity, take liquidity, and outbound shares. So for each different order route, you have potentially 3 different charges. Add liquidity means that you're adding liquidity, adding volume to that particular route. So if you place an order and you bid for it at the current bid, and someone hits your order while you're posted on the bid, you're going to add liquidity and you're going to get paid 0.002 per share. Now, if you place this order and you place it at the ask, you want to buy at the ask, and you remove liquidity, you take liquidity, you're going to pay 0.003. And then outbound shares, that's what relates to routable or non-routable. If, for example, you place your order on ARCA, but NASDAQ is the best price, ARCA is going to route your order out to NASDAQ, and it's a routable order, and you're going to pay the outbound shares fee of 0.0035 per share. So if you choose to set your order as non-routable, that means that it will only reside on the ARCA book, and if there's a better price at another exchange, you're not going to get it. Now that will prevent you from, paying the outbound shares fee, but it also may prevent you from getting executed. So does that make sense? All right, great. And that, I took that question because that's specifically some of the content that I did want to cover today. So non-routable right here. So if I place this order, you see the order type non-routable on ARCA, it's not going to route it out to another exchange. All right. So, there's a lot of different questions about specific order types, dark pools and whatnot. So if you choose the route, here, I'm going to change this back to limit. If you choose the specific route that you want to send your order on, it only shows the order types that are available on that route. So if you choose, IEX, for example, they're going to have a different list of order types available compared to LSPT, for example. And yes, it is direct access. I mean, if you're sending your order directly on NASDAQ, ARCA, EDGE, BATS, that's direct access. Your order's going to the exchange directly. So I'm going to show you how to set up some of the hotkeys and get into the order entry portion. So on the Lightspeed Trader platform, before you start using hotkeys, in my opinion, the first thing to really do is to set up your tier sizes. So Lightspeed Trader allows you to set up tiers based on activity. So if you look right here, you have all these different tiers, and they're usually pre-set up, and I have all my boxes checked off so that I can change the volume for each order that I'm sending by using the number pad on my keyboard. So when I press the number 3, for example, it's going to change my volume to 300. So you go through this, you set up your tiers. I suggest leaving it at the default because it pretty much covers everything. You got 1 through 1,000, then you have 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. Of course, you can change those so that if you're trading 10,000 shares, you can change one of the tiers to 10,000. And to me, that's really the first step. So to do that, you click on the settings wheel, go to tier sizes, have all of these checkbox checked off, and this right here, use numpad to change your tier. So to me, that's the first step. And then the next step in setting up hotkeys, you go to the order pop-up. So again, always go back to the wheel. You can click on that on virtually every window. And then under order pop-up, this allows you to change the price of an order just by using your keyboard. So you don't have to point and click and type in numbers. It really saves a lot of time when you're entering orders. And we'll get into this a little bit more when we're actually sending orders. So your left and right arrows is going to change your price by a penny. If you do shift left and right, I have it set up to change by a nickel. Control left and right arrows changes by 10 cents. And then Alt left and right. So if I hold down the Alt key and hit the left and right arrow key, it's going to change the price of my order by 50 cents. And you can set this up for the price as well as the shares. So if you use the caret key, left and right, you're going to change your shares for your order by 100 shares at a time. You do shift caret 500, control caret 1,000, and then alt caret, I have it set for 50 in case I'm trading a very high price stock and I only want to get in with a small lot. So that would really be the second step in setting up hotkeys. So the basic hotkey is a custom order. So if you click on the wheel, you go to custom orders. I have two very basic ones set up: buy at the bid, sell at the ask. But to set up a new custom order hotkey, after clicking on the custom orders tab, you go to new commands, custom, and you go create new command. So from this window right here, this is where you can create a basic hotkey. So we're going to change the name. We're going to call, we're going to set up a little bit of an advanced hotkey, but we'll say buy minus, we should say maybe bid minus 2. Let's see, bid minus 2. So what we're going to do is set up a hotkey to send a bid 2 cents below the current price. So you have the buy button checked off. You can set visible or hidden, which is a really great feature. So you can set it up so that everyone sees your order or doesn't see your order. I'm going to leave it on visible for now. And then this through. So this is where you change the price. So I want to do negative 2 cents. And here on this drop down, I'm going to leave it on bid, but you can do bid ask, primary bid ask, last, previous close, and whatnot. So I'm setting up a hotkey to bid minus 2 cents. Now, order size. If you have a position and you're closing out the position, you can set it to close out your full position. That's typically what I like to do when I'm setting up hotkeys. You can set it up to, close out positions based on tiers, half your position, quarter your position, and whatnot, but I typically do full position. If I don't have a position to close, I'm going to set it up based on the tiers, so I can change the price up and down. Pop-up confirm. If you're an active trader, you don't want to pop up. You want the order just to go live immediately. But for this demonstration, I'm going to choose yes because I want it to pop up and show you some of the other tools that are available. All right, so I have all the parameters set up. I'm going to click map the key now. And this is where you choose either Shift, Control, or Alt and one of the keys on the keyboard. So I'm going to hit Shift 1. I'm going to make that my buy at the bid minus 2 cents. So I click on this line right here, the little S there, that stands for Shift. A would be Alt, C would be Control, but we're going to do Shift 1, and then we're going to click Map. So now that hotkey that I just created is mapped or linked to the Shift 1 key combination. Order entry pop-up, I'm going to leave that checked because I do want it to pop up. So I click OK, click on my level 2 screen, I hit Shift 1, and it pops up this little order entry window here. I don't know if you can see it, but it says bid 100 Apple, 139.69. You see the current bid is 139.71, so the hotkey did exactly what I intended it to do. Now that this order entry window is open there, I can actually go in and change the parameters of the trade very easily based on the arrow keys that we had set up before. So if I hit the left and right arrows, it's going to move the price up and down. So if I hit the right arrow, you see the price is moving up. The left arrow, price is moving down. If I hit the caret keys, it's moving the number of shares. If I use the numpad, if I hit the 0 on my numpad, it moves to 1,000. If I hit the 5, it moves to 500. If I hit the plus sign, it moves to 5,000. And that's the preset parameters that we set up earlier on the pop-up window. The up and down arrow keys can change your order route. So as I hit the down arrow key, it rotates between the 4 order routes that I've chosen: ARCA, NASDAQ, EDGX, and IEX. Once you have the order set up exactly the way you want, you just hit enter. I have my confirm set up. We're going to hit yes, but typically you can have those turned off. And now you can see in white here, you see this order, buy 5,000 Apple, 139.67. The order's out there live. Now, say the order's not going to get filled, I have hot buttons set up. Right here, these are just 6 very basic hot buttons. So I'm just going to hit cancel selected order, and the order gets canceled. All right. A lot of questions coming in, probably more than I'm capable of answering. If I answered all these questions, we would probably be here till 8 o'clock tonight, and we really have about a half hour left now. Just to answer questions related to specifically what I had just covered, can you make one with a stop in 10 or 5 for 10 cents or 5 cents? Yes, you can absolutely do that. Some people are saying that they've tried to set this up and it didn't work. You can always call our service desk and they can help you set up some of these hotkeys. Here's a good question. What if you route to a dark pool and they don't have the shares you need? Is the order rerouted somewhere else? It depends on the route. Some of the routes will not do it, but some will. If you use the Lightspeed dark route, it will then route out to I believe ARCA to try to get the fill. So first it goes through and skims all of the dark pools and then routes out to ARCA or one of the other exchanges. Here's a good question. Any specific route for pre and post market? You have to use an exchange route, so that would be ARCA, NASDAQ, BATS, and EDGX. All right, let's see. I'm going to pull up my content here, see what else I have for you guys. So I'm just going to go over the super smart order really quick because I think a lot of you will probably like that order type. So let's see. Again, we always click on the wheel for the settings. Go to super smart, and typically when you bring this up, these routes here are it's all blacked out. So typically here I'm just going to remove them. When you first start out, this window is going to be blank. You choose whether you want to buy at the offer or buy at the bid. Same on the sell side, sell at the bid, sell at the offer. If you're going to spray the market, typically you're going to want to buy at the offer and sell at the bid, so that's what I have checked off. But then you want to add routes. All you do is click in this window, and then all of the routes that are available pop up. So you would click on, ARCA, then add it, Edge A, add Edge X, NASDAQ, BAT. Those are the big ECN type exchanges. I always, I'm not using hotkeys in a general basis, so I always have the pop-up confirm set up. So once you have this set up, you use the super smart order, it's going to route to all these different exchanges. It's going to spray them in order to get your order filled. You hit the OK button. And then you choose super smart, and you send the order out, and that's the order type and the route, so to speak. All right, let's see. You can set up hotkeys to cancel all orders. I have a hot button set up for that, cancel all orders here. I'm going to quickly show you how to set up a hotkey to cancel all orders. Like everything else, you pull up, click on the wheel, go to trading, and then cancels. And then you choose which type of key you want to use for a cancel and click OK, and that allows you to cancel all orders. Can you just bear with me 1 second? I'll be right back. Hold on. I gotta get a sip of water. All right, thanks so much. Sorry about that. I needed to wet my throat here. It seems that people are asking the same questions multiple times. Oh, there's a great question. Jerry asks, how do you compare with TradeStation? I'm biased. I think we have the best trading platform out there for active traders. It's designed specifically, for active traders that are entering a lot of trades every single day. And, the hotkeys and the functionality is second to none. But, it depends on what you need in a trading platform. I'm going to cover the hot buttons in just a minute. I'm going to answer a few of these questions. Adding the short request functionality, you have to email service@lightspeed.com to get the short sale request functionality. Demos do not work in our demo platform. So if you have a demo, the stop orders do not work. Are all smart keys routable, or is there a button? I don't know the answer to that, John, unfortunately. Would have to, play around with the platform to figure it out. Super Smart Order sends out multiple layered orders. Not exactly. It routes your order to multiple different destinations. Super Smart, when it's executed, you are charged for the ECN fees for each increment. Absolutely. Someone asked how they can get light scan, I think. That's what they're asking. Again, email service@lightspeed.com and they'll help you get that set up. The information that we're covering here is really not applicable to the web trader. This is really Lightspeed Trader and all that it's related to that. All right, so hot buttons. Once you open up a hot button window, as I have right here, it's really easy to set up a hot button. You right-click on the window, you go to Add, Orders, and this is actually, a lot of times I find myself, clicking on a hot button to send orders, and it's really easy to set up. So the first thing you do is, after you right-click, again, you right-click on the hot buttons window, you go to Add, Orders, and then on the right-hand side, this is where you choose what type of hotkey you want. You want a hotkey to cancel orders? Do you want a hotkey for custom commands? You want non-trading functions. So for example, I clicked on that. You can set up a hot button that will do almost anything. Here's one. It'll exit the program, for example. This is one of the biggest benefits of the Lightspeed Trader platform. It is designed, for the really active guy that wants to, drive the platform through the keyboard. You can set it up so that you can do just about anything on the keyboard. Some of these things I don't even know exactly what they are. This toggle flow exclude, I don't know what that is, but obviously it's something that active traders are using. Here's a hotkey. Say you have, you're going through a watch list. Here's a next symbol. You can set up a hot button to look at the next symbol. This is where you set up your closeout positions. So if you want to close out a position, you can set up an order to close out your full position on ARCA at the offer. Closeout orders and use the tier system to send your closeout orders. Here's a good question. Can I set up loss closeout for the day on the account? That is a feature that we do have available, but you have to email it to us. What that means is that if you lose a certain amount of money for the day, we can have the system automatically reject all new orders. So for example, if you have a $500 loss limit per day, if you happen to lose $500, we can have the system shut off your user so you cannot enter any new opening transactions. You will still have to monitor and close out the existing positions in the account. So if you lose $500, you get closed out from new orders, but you say you have 100 shares of Ford, you will have to close that position yourself. So it won't prevent you from losing more than 500, because if you lose more on that one position, it could be more. But the system, we can set the system up to do that, and that's a good tool for traders to help limit losses and help keep them in line with their trading plan. Um, some of the other tools that are available that a lot of the active traders use on a regular basis, if you want to show your order on a chart, you can set it up to have a line go through your chart. So you right-click, you go to Trading, and then check off Show Active Orders, right? So now if I enter a sell order at Apple, let's see. I just entered a sell order on an Apple, and you can see this red line pop up on my chart. It's a good representation so that, you know, if you're looking at a chart to place your orders and to determine where you're getting in and out of a stock, sometimes having that visual representation of your order is you know, a nice tool to have. A lot of people have asked for VWAP. Whether the VWAP study is going to be available. And as far as I know, the programmers are working on adding the VWAP study to charts so that you can see the virtual weighted average price as a line on a chart. OCO orders, order cancels order. I get a lot of questions about that. There is no direct OCO order on the system, but you can set up a custom command that'll cancel an order once you no longer have a position. And there's a way to set that up so that, you know, you have a virtual OCO. You will have to enter a sell order and a sell short, and then when one of them gets filled, you go flat, the system will automatically cancel it. And that's a custom command that you can set up. One of the other keyboard functions is the, let's see, you go to keyboard, you can set up cancel order keys, custom commands, trading function keys, virtually anything that you want. So we'll just go to custom commands. And this lists out the custom commands that I have and allows you to assign it to a keyboard. I chose cancel order keys. So this is like basically a standard or cookie cutter hotkey for canceling orders. If you are actively trading and you have multiple different orders out there on different exchanges and you only want to cancel, you know, orders at one specific destination compared to the other, you can use these cancel order hotkeys to do that. You can see that you know, you're canceling NASDAQ buys. You know, you scroll down and, you know, cancel NYSE orders, cancel listed orders, NASDAQ orders, and so forth. I see a few questions here. Here's a basic question, but people that are new to us might want to see this. Where do you see your positions in your orders? So in the upper right-hand corner, this is my orders window, and right here is positions. So if you look at my positions, I don't have any positions, but I did have Ford, and I closed it for a $10 profit. So you go to New, And this is where you would open up orders or positions, orders, positions, account summary. This is where you open up virtually every window on the trading platform, whether you want to open up a new hot buttons window, a new chart, new watch list, level 2 screen. You just go to new and then choose which one you want. One of the other features on Lightspeed Trader that a lot of traders use is custom layouts. You can save your layout. So if you set up your trading platform exactly the way you want it, you go to Layout, Save Layout As, and once you click on that, you name the page, you save it to your computer. And you can set up multiple layouts and then load those layouts whenever you need them. Let's see, I see a few more questions here. I see a lot of operational questions coming through. All right, so one of the other things I wanted to cover is in the upper right-hand corner of your level 2 screen, you're going to see different letters or percentages. This indicates whether a stock is borrowable, whether you can short it, also what the margin requirement is. So if you notice here on Apple it says 25%, that means that the margin requirement is 25%. So it's fully marginable at 4 to 1. Sometimes it might say 50%, which means it's marginable at 2 to 1. And if you're trading one of the higher, excuse me, the higher leverage ETFs, it could say 90%, where you have to put up 90% of the cash to buy the position. That's something that's very important when you're getting into a stock that's new to you. You might not, know what the margin requirement is. It says directly on the platform. People always ask, is a stock available to short? This little letter here tells you whether it's available to short. The E, if there's an E there, means it's easy to borrow. L means locate required, meaning if you email us, we can possibly locate shares for you. A T means threshold, which means it's really not available to short. There's also 0.05 will pop up, and that means that that stock is in the tick pilot program, where you can only enter orders in increments of a nickel. Letters CB, as in circuit breaker, might pop up, where it's going to limit shorting on a downtick. So to cover the hotkeys again really quick, I have two set up. I have Control B. When I hit Control B, I have it set up to bid for the current stock at the bid price. The up and down arrow changes the exchange that it's going to. The right and left arrows changes the price up and down. The caret keys is going to change the volume, increase it by or decrease it by 100 shares at a time. And then your num locks, you press a number on your keyboard, press the number 9, it changes to 9. I'm sorry, 900, 0 is 1,000. The slash key is 2,000. It's really easy to use hotkeys. You hit the enter. Once that box pops up, it sends the order. The order goes live. You can see I have an order out there now, right here under the orders window, to buy 2,000 Apple at 139.73. Now you can set up other hotkeys to modify your order, or point and click. If you just right click on the order, you go to modify, a window pops up, and you could change the price. Say you want to change the price, you want to change the route, and then you click modify, and it sends the change. You can set up hotkeys to do the same exact thing. So if you click on the order, click on whatever hotkey that you have set up to modify your trade, it'll send through the modifier. I've really covered all of the material that I had for you today. I'm going to try to go through and answer some of the previous questions that we've had. Let's see. While I try to pull up some questions, just wanted to cover it again. My name is Joe Ely, E-L-Y. Email is jely@lightspeed.com. I'm going to type that in really quick. If anyone has a friend they want to get into the Refer a Friend program, just send me an email. I'd be more than happy to help you out and go over how to get it set up. All right, just sent out my email address, and let's see if we have any other questions here. I'm going to try to start from the beginning. One of the questions was if I could show the new locate feature. Unfortunately, I can't. This is a demo, and it's not permissioned on the demo server. The session has been recorded, and once we finish, it'll probably be up in the next day or two on our website. See a question, what are the benefits of the IEX route? So IEX was set up because a group of traders found that institutions had an advantage over the individual trader because they were able to locate their servers right next to the exchanges, physically closer. They were getting data from the exchanges, milliseconds faster than everyone else. Than individual traders. So what they did is they set up a speed bump so that institutions and individuals would receive the data at the same time to try to level the playing field. Question, are there ECN fees beyond the trade commission? Yes, there are order routing fees, ECN fees. Are there a specific set of orders for pre- and post-market trading? Again, I think I answered that. You want to use ARCA, NASDAQ, EDGE, or BATS. If you use a dark pool, question, does it show up on a level 2 screen? It does not show up on a level 2 screen. Dark pool is hidden liquidity, and it will not show up for the market. If you have 25,000, you trade at 4 to 1. 25,000 or more, margin is 4 to 1. See a question. Someone asks pegged orders with option contracts. You can send a pegged order on options or stocks. Let me see if I can find one here. ARCA primary peg, for example, if you send an order with this order type, you can set it up so that it's going to peg the bid or ask, and for example, add a penny to the bid or subtract a penny from the ask, so that if the bid is 139.75, you're going to show up at 139.76, and if it moves down to 139.70, you're going to be pegged, penny above that at 139.71. And that's really what a pegged order is. And there's multiple different kinds of pegs. Like here's a midpoint peg. This is a great tool to use, especially on a stock that has a significant spread. If you have a stock that has a 10 10 cent spread or 20 cent spread, this will peg your order between the bid and the ask. And that's you know, a good feature, you know, when you're trading a higher price stock that you know, has some volatility. Someone asks, what is FANA, F-A-N-A? You know, I don't know what that order route does, and that's one of the great, it's one of the good things and one of the bad things about the Lightspeed Trader platform. There are a lot of different tools available, and things were designed specifically for traders. You know, if we have enough traders that want something specific, our programmers go out and try to build it for them. So you know, there are a lot of things that I'm not familiar with because of that. And you know, again, it's good and bad. It's bad that I don't know everything, but it's good that we have these type of abilities to create things that traders want. You know, I think I've really covered all of the questions. Let's see. I'm going to start from the most recent ones. Is there a benefit to using the LSPT routing? LSPT routing, I think there were questions about that may not have been answered. The benefit to using LSPT is the fee. The fee is going to be less than an order route. So if you look at our order routing fees on the page, on our page here, you can see that the Lightspeed Trader routes are less expensive than you know, a lot of the other routes. You know, some of them get routed to dark pool, like the dark assault. LSPT route goes out to exchanges, but it also has market makers in the routing algorithm, so that you know, we can possibly offer it to you at a cheaper price. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to answer specific questions and troubleshoot your trading platforms. If you're having trouble with something, you're going to have to, you know, contact our service desk, unfortunately. Videos. We have videos on our website. People want to see, let's see, where are they? Product tutorials. So you go to resources and product tutorials. There's a lot of videos here that you can watch to help learn how to use some of the system features. Again, under resources, I covered this in the beginning. If you go to Lightspeed Trader, you have the latest version release notes, installation guides. You also have different manuals, you know, FAQs, quick reference guides. Those type of tools, you know, are very helpful. Is there a search engine on this platform? You know, I've never used it, but I believe that there is. All right. Well, I think I've covered all the questions for the most part. Again, I can't troubleshoot your specific trading platform issues, unfortunately. All right, so someone just, if anyone has specific questions about hotkeys, hot buttons, order routes, order types, I mean, that's really what I'm trying to cover. If you have those questions, type them in. I'll try to answer them for you. Question, what's the difference between primary market and LSPT? So on the custom commands, if you send an order to the primary market, it's going to route the order to the market that the stock is listed on. So if it's a NASDAQ listed stock, it's going to send it to NASDAQ. LSPT is a Lightspeed route where we choose where to route the order to. Someone wants to show how to put a sell order in. For point and click, this window right here has a sell button and a buy button. This is the simplest way to enter an order. You point and click, you can change the shares, change the price, change the order route, limit, market, stop, choose limit, hit buy, and the order goes live. We bought it. I have 3,000 shares of Apple right here. I have my hotkey set up. I'm going to click ARCA Cell Closeout Full, hit yes, it closes out the order immediately. Commission per trade. Yeah, for those of you that are new and I'm not going to open that. Let's see. Go to pricing, commission per trade. We start at $4.50 per trade, $4.50 per trade. It goes down to $2.50 per trade. Per share, we start at 0.0045 per share and go down to 0.001 per share. Let's see, is there a way to set up a hotkey to bring up modify order menu? Tony, yes, there is. You know, I'm 90% sure that there is. I don't know how to set it up. It would take me, you know, just a few minutes to really go through the system and figure out what function to use, but I believe that you can do that. John asks, are there range or conditional orders? I'm not exactly sure. Are you talking about you know, if XYZ, you know, if the Dow hits, you know, a certain price, send these orders? What type of conditional order are you looking for? Jim brings up a good question. Are there any speed differences or fill placements? Yeah, obviously the market maker routes, the all electronic routes, those are going to be the fastest routes generally. NASDAQ, ARCA, EDGE, and BATS. Those should be the fastest order routes. Dark pools, if they have liquidity, the dark pool routes will be very fast as well. Some of the other routes that go to market makers, they may be a little slower. Market makers are going to execute orders for us at a lower cost, typically, but they are a little bit slower. Someone has a question about BATS, BATS Y, BATS Z. BATS is kind of strange in that they set up two different exchanges with different fee structures to try to capture more of the market volume. Other than that, you know, I really don't know what the difference is. You know, one of them was designed to pay you for adding liquidity, and one was set up to pay you for removing liquidity. I'm not sure whether that still exists. So John says, for example, he wants to buy if a price hits a specific price, and once filled, auto sell if the stock hits another specific price. So, I mean, you can enter just a straight limit or stop order to get in if it hits a certain price, but then an auto sell. Yeah, John, email me. I'd have to look into that further. JELY@lightspeed.com. How long can we use the demo for? We assign demos for real-time demos for a week. If you need it for another week, you can email us and we can extend it for a week. But that's pretty much it. We really are not in the business of providing real-time market data access to prospects, but you know, we can work with you. All right, everyone. I really appreciate your time, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's 5:37. If anyone has questions, you can always email service@lightspeed.com, or you can contact me directly. It's JELY@lightspeed.com. I hope everyone learned something and took something away from this presentation that they didn't know previously. And I look forward to hearing from you guys in the future. Thank you so much. Have a good night.